a little bit about the Rockend family, which of course is a very familiar name here in Australia in property, because it was the end of an era for the Rockend family just last year when the company was acquired by the global real estate player MRI Sotware. But we haven't heard a huge amount about their plans for the future.
Absolutely. You'd have to say that Rockend would possibly be Australia's oldest Proptech company, 40 years old, which is absolutely amazing, and founded in Sydney that time ago. And yeah, just over a year ago, they were purchased by MRI, a global real estate software company. So we're keen to catch up with David Bowie to find out more about their acquisition.
Yeah, sure, Ben. So MRI is a leader in the real estate sector and has been for a number of years, and so certainly a strong player here in the APAC market as well. And on the commercial side in particular, where MRI has been strong, very much a leader in top 6 property managers are all clients of MRI, and we've been a strong player in that space. The acquisition of Rockend 2019, almost coming up to a year, really then put it firmly into the residential space as well. So Rockend being a leader, having been around in this market for 40 years, I think over 50% of property managers using Rockend, and I think about 35% of strata managers. So it really nicely complements MRI's goals to be strong across the whole Proptech sector, and is really a launching pad for significant growth into the Asia-Pac region.
What a time to start, David. You know, you've been 6 weeks in your role. You've joined at a time of a COVID-19 pandemic when travel is obviously both domestic and internationally essentially put on hold. But you are in the technology space, and your job is to create innovation and make things easier, in particular, of course, in the real estate industry, as you've been talking about. Do you see this rate of innovation that we're seeing in PropTech, the increase that we're seeing in this rate of innovation, do you see that continuing throughout the next 6 to 12 months once COVID-19 sort of starts to recover from that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this will accelerate the cycle probably by 2 to 5 years. And if you look at the commercial side, there's a lot of commentary at the moment about the long-term impact on how office space is seen, for example. But the reality is some of that consolidation was going on already. So we'll see an acceleration of how people adopt and adapt to technology. And likewise, on the residential side, I think people are going to want to connect remotely. They're going to want more tools to enable landlords, to enable tenants to connect, to be able to manage workflows. And areas like organisational effectiveness and efficiency is going to be key. So I absolutely think the transformation and adoption of technology was inevitable, but this will absolutely accelerate it.
David, where do you see over the next few months some of the new software releases that you're working on? Is there any sort of new products that are coming out towards the back half of this year and into 2021?
Yeah, actually, Ben, even in the last couple of months, there's been an enormous acceleration of some of our rollout of capability. So we've been rolling out some new dashboards which make the technology so much easier to use. We've rolled out some integrations with applications like maintenance providers. So a solution called Maintenance Plus, which is making it easier to engage for repairs and maintenance, those sorts of things. Digital signing capability, so you don't have to leave the technology to get documents signed, and those sort of things. And I think this week or next week, we're releasing a new application that will connect in directly with tenants. So in the last 6 months, the acceleration of rollout of new capabilities has been quite significant. And actually, I've had meetings with our customer advisory council and other clients, and certainly some really positive feedback there. And that's only going to continue. We'll continue to push out around how people communicate and continue to look at areas such as workflow to make things more effective. So that's just going to continue.
You have been labelled as a real estate technology trailblazer, and I'm sure there are many other PropTech firms that are looking at what you're doing at the moment and looking at some of those, those next big things that you're just describing. What would be the best piece of advice that you would give to a PropTech company in this environment?
I think there's going to be so many innovations to come along. Some of those are going to be local, some of those are being global. Our approach is very much about having an open and connected platform that allows people to adapt and adopt some of those innovations without having to make a fundamental switch in your technology strategy. And those, I think we should be, as an industry, encouraging those innovations to come along. But our approach is, rather than saying, hey, we want to be a single stack. We want to be a platform that people can, pick and choose those innovations to make their lives easier.
Fantastic. Well,
I think
David,
it's also probably worth, sorry, Ben, just I think always remembering technology innovation at the end of the day is about achieving some sort of business outcome. The technology itself is not the innovation. I think the business model, the data that it's powered by, that's where the real innovation comes into it.
And finally, David, if you're a new business, which we see are starting up all the time in real estate, what would be the best way to engage with MRI to begin their new office journey, as it were?
Oh, listen, you talk to us. We've got a significant team. I think we've got 160 plus people. We're well known in the industry and client base. We've got a good reference base of customers there. And a lot of people have used us in one shape or form. So connect with us, connect with me. You'll see us on socials. You'll see us directly. We have our own Ascend conference coming up on July 22nd, which will be a virtual conference, of course, which will be a showcase of our whole range of offerings. And I'm looking forward to digitally connecting with everybody at Ascend on July 22nd.
Very much look forward to that. David, appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Excellent. Thank you both very much.